What happens once you accept an offer on your property? You won't want to miss this video. We'll be going over some of the next important steps that you can expect before closing. Hello, I'm Lana Hersher with the Living in DFFW team. You may be watching this video because you just accepted an offer on your home. If that's the case, on behalf of our entire team, congratulations on accepting an offer. Signing the offer is only the beginning, and we'll be working hard behind the scenes to ensure a smooth closing for you. The average home closes within 30 days after going under contract. However, this can be shorter or longer depending on what was negotiated on your purchase agreement. I want to take the time to talk about some of the important things that take place in a traditional real estate transaction once you're under contract. Number one is opening title. The first step is for your buyer to open escrow with the title company. This includes delivering their earnest money and option fee, which typically takes place within 48 hours of the acceptance of offer. The earnest money is paid directly to the title company, and that same title company will be reaching out to you with an additional paperwork. The title company will obtain a preliminary title and HOA report to ensure that there are no liens, judgments, or violations on the home. If anything unknown is found, it's difficult to close until after all of those are resolved. So please let us know if you are aware of any active liens or violations. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in DFFW, from Dallas to Frisco to Fort Worth and its suburbs, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current real estate market in DFFW. We get texts and emails every single day from people just like you wanting to buy and make a move to DFFW, and we love it. So whether you're looking to move in 5 days or 5 months, shoot us a text or schedule a Zoom call with us, and we'll be happy to help you make your move to DFFW easy like a Sunday morning. Number two is seller's disclosures. When you signed your listing paperwork, our team sent over a link to complete a digital copy or an email with a blank seller's disclosure for you to complete. If you have not completed your seller's disclosure, you will want to do this as soon as possible. The purchase contract does require us to provide the seller's disclosure to the buyer within 3 days of contract acceptance. The seller's disclosure needs to be completed by the property owner to the best of their ability. This is a document that will ask you questions about your home, such as what year it was built, if you're aware of any issues, utilities, past repairs, and many other things about your property. Number three, the next step is home inspection. After your home is under contract, your buyers will enter into their home inspection period, which is typically 10 days unless stated otherwise in the contract. The inspection period is designed to give buyers the opportunity to complete all of their due diligence. The buyers will call their home inspector to set up a time for this property inspection. And as soon as we hear from the buyer's agent, we'll reach out to you and let you know what day and time the inspection will take place. Depending on the size and age of your home, you can expect the home inspection to take at least 3 to 5 hours. Plan to make a graceful exit, at least for that time period, and we'll let you know when the coast is clear to return home. It's normal not to hear back on how the inspection went until closer to the end of the inspection period. It's very common for inspectors to find an item in need of repair, even on brand new homes. The buyer's agent will submit the home inspection to us, along with a list of any repairs that the buyers are requesting the seller to fix. Sometimes, but not very often, we'll get these back with no repairs needed. Now, if there is a repair request, once that form is received, you will have 5 days to decide how you would like to respond. As a seller, you have several choices for your response. We will, of course, walk you through the process. For example, sellers can choose to decline the buyer's repair request, agree to them, you can agree to some of them, or you can even offer the buyer a credit instead of repairs. This credit is typically paid at closing through the proceeds, and we will discuss the process more in detail if a repair request is received. It is important to know that if any kind of deal breaker is found during the buyer's due diligence period, a typical residential contract does give the buyer the option to cancel the contract and receive all of their earnest money back. If you know of anything needing repair, for example, a leaky faucet, you definitely want to consider making all repairs before the home inspection. Step number 4 is the financing contingencies. If your buyer is using financing, once the home inspection is complete and all potential repairs are negotiated, it's time for your home appraisal. The home appraisal is required by the lender as a part of the closing process. The lender will order the appraisal, and the appraiser will call the listing agent to schedule a time to come back to your property. The appraiser will spend time measuring and taking photos for the report. We will also provide the appraiser with detailed information on your home and comparables to assist in their analysis. Once the appraiser visits your home, the report can take several days to come back, and the buyer's lender will be the first one to receive the report. And they are not required to give that report to the seller, but they will let us know if there are any issues in the value. And we will let you know as soon as we have heard from the buyer's lender with those results. Like the home inspection, the appraisal contingency gives the buyer the opportunity to back out of the sale should the valuation of the home be significantly less than the purchase amount, or if significant repairs are required on the home. Step 5 is the final walkthrough. Once the buyer has completed all of their contingencies, the buyer and the realtor will most likely schedule a time to come back to your property for the final walkthrough. This usually takes place a few days before closing, and during that time, they will walk the property to ensure that it's in the same condition and confirm that any repairs that you agreed to make are completely done. They also check and ensure that all the attached items that convey with the home are still present. So make sure to read through your purchase agreement to determine which items convey with your home. This includes things like curtains, curtain rods, chandeliers, TV mounting brackets. So if you have any special attached items that you do not want to convey, it's important that this is stated specifically in the listing and the contract. It's also a good idea to keep copies of your invoices for repairs and email a copy to us. Also, leave a copy on the kitchen counter for the buyers so they can have a copy for their final walkthrough. We will also ask you to complete a form with all of the important information for the buyer, including things like the mailbox number, the location of your mailbox, any codes and utilities. Even if your house is vacant, you must keep your utilities on and in your name until you officially no longer own the home. Step 6 is the closing paperwork. When the title company has the final docs, they'll call you and schedule your signing. Typically, you will need to sign your closing documents with a notary. However, this can be done with a mobile notary, the mail, or a notary in another state if you've already moved. Step number 7, closing day. There's a lot going on behind the scenes on closing day, and it's almost impossible to determine the exact time your home will officially close. We like to say anytime before 5 p.m. Once the title company has all the signed documents and the funds, they will release your home to record with the county. We will notify you as soon as the home is officially closed. After closing and funding, the buyer's realtor will typically get the key out of your lockbox, and you can leave any other keys, garage remotes, or mailbox keys inside your home in a kitchen drawer. The title company will ask you if you prefer your proceeds to be wired or in a check. Proceeds are typically ready within 24 hours after closing. The contract also requires that sellers leave the home in broom-swept condition. However, it's always appreciated when the sellers choose to go the extra mile and have the home professionally cleaned for the buyers. In a perfect world, your home will pass inspection and appraisal with flying colors, and your buyer will be approved for financing in 30 days or less. However, a National Association of Realtors study shows that only 75% of contracts close on time. So if you hit some bumps into the closing process, don't panic, you are not alone. I've been a realtor since 2010, and I have seen so many different obstacles come up. So even when it may be like a seller's market, or if it's a time when buyers are aplenty, for most homes, it's so important that you hire an experienced realtor to help you navigate the process and get you to a smooth closing. We know you have a lot of options, and we are so honored that hopefully you selected our team to help you with one of your biggest assets. I hope this video helped explain a few of the main steps along the way. And of course, each contract is different. Not all of this video will apply to you, but we will be here to guide you through every step of the way. To learn more about our team, visit livingindffw.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at livingindffw.
Once your buyer finishes the home inspection period, they will likely submit a repair request. This is typically after they've finished with their home inspection, possibly including a pest inspection and a pool inspection. During the option period, this gives the buyer the opportunity to request repairs from the seller. Remember, the seller isn't required to complete any of these repairs, but it's not uncommon to receive this from the buyer and, as the seller, feel offended that they would ask for so many things to be repaired. But keep in mind, when the buyer wrote the offer on the home, they may not have been aware of these issues. For example, termites are not unheard of in Texas, and let's say the inspector found termites. Well, the buyer didn't realize this when they wrote the offer on the home, and this is maybe an $800 cost for them. So they may ask you to treat for termites before closing. So please don't be offended. This is all part of the process. Many times sellers see this list of repairs and they just want to say no to everything, but that can be risky. And a traditional real estate contract does give the option to cancel the contract, walk away from the purchase, and get their earnest money back if they don't approve of your response. So how you treat this situation and how you respond is very important. I want to share with you some of the next steps and options once you receive this repair request. The first option you have is to accept the buyer's repair request. If you sign and accept the request, your buyer moves out of the inspection period. A second option is to counter the request. A counter offer would be by agreeing to the repairs, we will draft what you have agreed to and DocuSign it over to you. And then, once it's delivered to the buyer, they have the remainder of the option period to respond. They can choose one of three things. They can choose to accept your response, they can negotiate further, or they can decline and cancel the contract and walk away from the purchase. Any agreed to repairs would need to be completed before the buyer's final walkthrough, which is typically done 1 to 3 days before the closing date. You will also want to save all of the receipts for your repairs, make copies of them, and email the receipts over to us. If you do not want to deal with any repairs, you can also offer the buyer a credit towards repairs, effectively reducing the price of your home. And of course, the last option is to say no to everything, but we want you to realize that there is a risk involved with this option. You can upset the buyer and they can cancel the contract. Your agent, of course, will walk you through these requests and be in communication with the buyer's agent to negotiate the absolute best outcome for you. I hope this video helps explain the repair request procedure when selling your home. If you have any questions, please reach out to our team. You can learn more about us online at livingindffw.com, and don't forget to follow us on YouTube and social media.